Greetings, family. It's Empress D. Out on my walk as usual, and of course, I cannot neglect you guys. I have to check in. I hope everybody is well. And what I want for you is what I want for me. I want you guys to be on that journey to really getting to know yourself, really learning to love yourself, and recognize your value and your power, right, family? So, today, family, we are going to talk about the happenings in the world. Listen, we all know, I'm sure we've all heard from wherever we are on the globe, or on the planet. Who knows if it's a globe? We don't know if it's round or we don't know if it's flat. I would never say one way or the other because I cannot see it, right? I cannot launch myself up there to figure it out, right? So I only know what I'm told, and I don't believe nothing that I'm told. Let's get back to the topic, family. So, right now in the US, the government has been shut down. I think we spoke about it on another video. They shut down on October 1st. Today is October 23rd, so it's been 23 days, family, that there is no federal US government. Apparently they're locked down because the two different parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, the politicians cannot agree on the budget. Apparently the Republicans want to do away with some of the spending that they don't think is necessary, and the Democrats absolutely refuse to remove certain things from the budget. I heard that it's several $million there's an item in the budget for, I think it's $2+ million for circumcisions and for vasectomies in an African country. There's also hundreds of thousands of dollars for pride parades in other countries and so on and so forth. So a lot of spending in foreign countries that the Republicans don't want to agree to, and the Democrats apparently do not want to give up. Now, again, a lot of people say this is all posturing. And I listen, you know me, family. My perspective is that the world is a stage, okay? They're just acting out a script in front of us. And so because of this discourse within the federal government, the government is shut down. As a result, a lot of individuals are facing financial hardship. I know that federally funded programs are not being paid. A lot of them are not. And so therefore, people are essentially working for free until this government sorts out this budget. I've also come to learn that a lot of the social assistance benefits, I hear, I don't know what these acronyms are for, but they're called SNAP benefits and all these kind of different benefits, food stamps and that kind of thing. They, as of November 1st, will be on hold due to the government shutdown, family. The other thing that I've heard is that Section 8, which is subsidies for housing for people in need in the United States, that budget has been slashed by, I think, 40-something%, which is almost half, family. And so let's think about it. Here, we're going into November. November is a big time in the US. That's where they have their Thanksgiving, and then they roll from their Thanksgiving into obviously Christmas and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and all those different holidays. What a time for the government to be in this predicament and leaving their citizens in this situation. Again, family, my perspective is that the world is a stage and the politicians are playing out a script. So here it is now. Lots of people are going to be hungry. And it won't take a lot of time for people to be struggling to put a roof over their head, especially if this Section 8 business removes subsidies for people that have been relying on it to house themselves and their families. going into the colder months and going into the holiday months. Family, this is a recipe for disaster. From my perspective, this is the beginning of the fall of the United States of America. I shouldn't say the beginning of the fall. It's been falling for some time, but the rapid decline is happening now. A lot of people have also lost their jobs with this government shutdown, family. There's a lot happening. And it's happening, and I will always say by design, to make the American people more dependent on the government and the system. Now in Canada, where I was born and where I lived for all of my life, family, things are bubbling up there too. I know that a lot of Canadians like to think that they're cozy and safe there, but something's bubbling up there too, family. I listened to a video today from a Canadian economist, or somebody that really focuses on business in Canada. And he explained to me, well, not to me personally, but in his video, that Rogers Communications, so anybody that lives in Canada knows that Rogers don't play. Rogers is one of the telecommunications companies that service people's with internet service, cell phone service, TV service, and all that kind of thing. Apparently, they have cut, I think, about 2,500 employees as of the 31st of October, and have outsourced all of those jobs to India. Again, a whole set of people in Canada losing their employment. Family, when you look at it from a bird's eye view, you can see that systematically things are changing in the West. Now, as I'm walking, I'm thinking about BRICS, okay? So for people that don't know what BRICS is a collaboration between several countries, and I think what they've done is they've created a currency that is backed by gold. The 5 different countries that are collaborating are B, Brazil, R, Russia, I, India. Remember, family, I just mentioned India. They are, I'll get into that in a bit. So I is India, C is China, and S is South Africa, family. So those are the 5 countries that are collaborating to establish this new gold standard currency. Let's go back to this Canada thing and India. Family, let me tell you something. There has not been anything announced in the media or by our Canadian politicians, but I instinctively and intrinsically know that there's some kind of relationship going on between Canada and India that we are not privy to. They have been the best of friends, especially over the last 5+ years. For anybody that's lived in Canada, or yeah, well, I don't know if it's all of Canada, but it's specifically in Ontario, Canada, there has been a huge influx of immigrants from India. And that is not a coincidence to me. The 5 I's, the current 5 I's that we have right now, family, the 5 I's are the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the United States. The 5 I's. And when you think about it, family, those 5 countries went hard on the COVID-19 situation with their mandates. It's very, 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 very hard. Okay. And right now, presently, they are the West, right? Those 5 I's, those 5 countries represent the West. Could it be that these 5 countries are collapsing, family, to make way for a new 5 I? 5 I's, which will consist of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa? Could that be it, family? Are we seeing the changing of the guard, family? Are we seeing a new empire in the making, family? Listen, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I do know that America, who's been like the head of the Five Eyes, is crumbling before our eyes. And it would seem as though other countries obviously can see that and are probably jockeying for position for global power, to be the new powerhouse of the globe. I could be wrong too. It could be that it will be just a whole new world, one world order where there is no in charge country, but I don't know, family. Something is bubbling up, and it is going to be a drastic change from what we've known in our lifetimes, family. This whole thing about Donald Trump deploying the National Guard, now it all makes sense. With all of this financial strife and food insecurity and maybe housing insecurity that people may be facing, millions of people that depend on these government assistance programs without warning being snatched about from under them. With this sudden change, there may be civil unrest. And now it makes sense as to why Orange Man placed all the National Guard strategically, and I think 19 different major cities in 19 different states. This is what's up, family. This is the quiet before the storm. I would really use this video to plead to people to don't let them win. Don't have civil unrest, family. Don't share with one another. If we are in food insecurity, there are people that are secure in food. Share. But the way that the societies have been socially engineered and constructed, people have no compassion for each other. And so I feel like if I plead for that, it's going to fall on deaf ears, because the majority of people out there will hoard and defend what's theirs before they readily share. And that's just the reality of the world that we're presently living in. Family, listen, man, I know that something huge is happening, and I'm sure that the majority of people that are like, even if you take 5 minutes out to kind of just ponder, you feel it too. Don't ignore that feeling, family. That's your intuition. That's God. That's the God within you. That's that little spark that's within you that's warning and saying something is up. Listen to it, family. We cannot neglect that inner knowing that we all possess any longer, because that's the built-in safeguard that our Creator has put in each and every one of us to kind of alert us to when there's danger and trouble. Right, family? Family, we are in for it. It's time for people to really pay attention to what's going on around them, to start to find their tribe, because it's not going to be easy for people to survive what's coming independently. We have to learn to lead with love and recognize if my neighbor's not good, I'm not good. Because what happens to you affects me and vice versa. I wish this was taught in schools. I wish that we all had that principle down pat within us, but we've been socially constructed to think about me, myself, and I. And if my neighbor is suffering, sucks to be them, right? Now, I have to give some human beings credit, because it's not that way in all places. In fact, where I'm staying right now, there's such a sense of community. I, as a newcomer, have had several neighbors lovingly and kindly offer so many different things to me. And even say, in the event of an emergency or something crazy, don't hesitate to come knock on their door, kind of thing, right, family? I guess it all depends on where you're situated, right? Because Some people do not feel that way. I feel like cities, concentrated cities, very highly, densely populated cities are more cutthroat as opposed to rural communities, family. This is the message I felt compelled to share with you all today, family, and I hope that everybody's ready and preparing. If you have the financial means and the ability, make sure that you can sustain yourself. Buy some extra foods and some extra water, and make sure that you have it put aside. Perhaps network with your neighbors and those that you trust, or loved ones or family members, and set a plan as to what you would do in the event of some kind of disaster. These are the times that we're in, family. All right? Anyway, thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. I love and I value each and every one of you. One love.